Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Megan. Today's class is a Hatha for hips. Hatha yoga is a slower based style of yoga where we have time to focus on alignment and our breath. For today's class, for props, you will need a yoga strap or possibly a long scarf. And then 2 yoga blocks, or if you have 2 large books hanging around, you could use those as well. Today's class will be about 60 minutes long. The itinerary will follow as first getting grounded and into our breath. Second, we'll begin to warm up our bodies gently so we can practice safely. Third, we will move through our yoga practice. Then we will move into our pranayama, our breath work near the end. And finally, we will move into shavasana, our final meditation. The most important pose of them all, where we can incorporate everything we did today. Please always listen to your body and consult with your doctor before trying yoga if you have any medical issues. Yoga is about going deep within ourselves and connecting with where we are today. With all that being said, let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat with our legs crossed. I'm going to grab this block here and place it underneath my seat, and I'll just sit on it so I have space for my hips to open up a little here. This also helps take pressure out of the lower back and makes it easier to sit up nice and tall with a long spine. Resting our hands palms face down on our legs for a grounding effect. If you would like to close your eyes or let your eyelids get heavy staring at the floor in front of you, softening your gaze. Allowing your senses to slowly adjust to the change. Starting to notice maybe the temperature of the air on your skin, your yoga mat and block beneath you giving you support and stability. Any noises you might hear around you. Begin to bring your awareness to your breath, the sound of your inhales and your exhales. And feel your chest rise and fall with the inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, lengthen your breath, taking the largest inhale you have taken today. And reversing that, exhaling out the largest exhale you've made today. Now bring your hands into prayer at heart center. Continuing with the deep inhales and deep exhales. Beginning to let the day melt away thus far and putting aside any tasks or to-do lists. We can get to those later. Now is the time for us to get in touch within ourselves. Stay here with your breath, with your inhales and your exhales, keeping your awareness here. Staying here for one more cycle of deep inhale and exhale. As you exhale, softly set your hands on top of your legs, palms facing down. Then begin to draw a tiny circle with your nose, heading counterclockwise. Keeping these neck circles very small and gentle. Next time you drop your chin down, Reverse the circles with your nose, now going clockwise. Keeping these movements micro. Next time your circle goes down, bring your head up to neutral, chin parallel with the mat. Just barely take your gaze to the right. Cranking our neck here, just barely turning our neck. And as you inhale, bring your gaze back to center. The exhale, gently take your gaze, barely turn your neck to the left. Not cranking our neck here, not trying to get a deep stretch. Then bring your gaze back to center. Again, taking our gaze over to the right. Staying with our breath and then unwinding, coming back to get to center. Pausing here in the middle with our breath and gently gazing to the left. Then turning our neck back to center. One more time, gazing to the right, maybe looking half an inch more. Now that our neck has warmed up a little bit, stay here with your breath and then releasing, coming through center, slowly, directly moving to the left side, maybe just a tiny bit deeper. Again, just paying attention to what feels good in our body. And then come back to center, release it. Staying here with our breath as we inhale, and then as we exhale, very gently drop your chin down, and then bring your head up to center as you inhale. Again, keeping these movements so very little and soft. Keep moving with your breath. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Next time you bring your head up to neutral, we're going to gently drop our right ear towards our shoulder. Bringing our shoulders down. What does it feel like not to force? Taking our left ear to our left shoulder. What does it feel like to not hurry, to slow down? Taking your right ear back down to your right shoulder. Bringing your head up through center as you inhale, and then exhaling left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling your head back up to center one more time on both sides, moving in a slow, controlled manner. Grabbing our strap now and folding the strap into half. Holding on to the strap with a loose grip about shoulder distance. Next, inhale, bring the strap and your arms up to whatever degree feels good for your body. Exhaling, sending the strap and your arms forward. Dropping the chin to the chest, letting your upper back curve over. Creating a C shape with the spine, sending the navel to the spine. As you inhale, bring the strap back up, pushing your chest forward, mini back bend here. Exhale, cat, seated cat. Inhaling, seated cow. Finishing your last round, take your strap and open it up. The strap a little bit wider than shoulder length, lifting your arms up to whatever degree feels good for you. And then I'm going to start to lean over very, very slowly, micro movements to my right for a side body stretch, taking the gaze down to the floor. Inhale using our obliques, coming up to center, and then exhale, barely moving over for this side body stretch. Taking the gaze down to the floor again. Your next inhale, come up through center, moving through side body stretch, rooting your left hip into the ground. Exhaling, releasing all the CO2, inhaling up to center, over to the left, pulling your right hip down, feeling that stretch along your side body. As you finish your exhale, inhaling up to center. Here in center, we're going to move into flossing our shoulder. Uncross your legs, and now cross your legs in the opposite direction. So the opposite leg is on front or on top. As you inhale, lift your strap up, and maybe you'll pull your arms out and back, dropping your arms behind your back, and then bringing it up and over your head and forward. Doing some self-inventory. How does this feel, moving the strap around your shoulders? Do you need to grip it closer together to make it more challenging, or do you need to loosen your grip to provide more space for your shoulders and chest? Continue to move here with your breath. Next time your arms come forward, release your strap and set it to the side. As we make our way into tabletop pose, coming onto hands and knees, have your blocks handy on both sides at the top of your mat. Place your hands under your shoulders, middle finger facing forward, nice wide palms, and our knees under our hips and the tops of our feet on our yoga mat. Extend through the crown of the head towards the front of the room, and then extend through your tailbone towards the back of the room. Pull your navel to spine. As you inhale, start to push your heart forward, lift your tailbone, and gently gaze forward for cow. As you exhale, reverse, dropping the crown of your head, pushing your tailbone towards the floor, and creating a C shape in your back, navel to spine. As you inhale, pull your heart forward, pull your shoulder blades together, broadening across the chest, lifting your tailbone, and exhaling through cat, really pushing away from the floor with your palms. Continue to move at your own pace. Finishing up, make your way back to tabletop. On your inhale, extend your right foot behind you, pressing through your big toe ball mound, extending through the crown of the head, pulling your navel to your spine, reaching in opposite directions. Keeping the pelvis level. Keeping your hands on the floor, or option, take your hands to the top of the blocks on the lowest setting. As you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose and step that right foot forward. Toes facing forward, front knee stacked over ankle. Action, top of foot and all 10 toenails on the floor. And as you inhale, bring your hands in prayer at heart center. Exhale it out. Send your tailbone down towards the face of the floor. Your core by pulling your navel to your spine and standing up a little bit taller here, lifting your heart. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears and extend through the crown of the head. Releasing it, taking your hands to the blocks and slide your front foot forward just a couple inches. Onto the heel of our front foot, extending our front leg, but keep a micro bend in your knee here for half split. My hands on the blocks so I can press into the blocks and have a nice long spine here, keeping our navel sucked in, your heel and your shin into the floor, keeping the legs active, even coming up onto the fingertips here if needing more space. Stay with your breath here. and then bending our front knee, planting our foot on the floor, and bring our hands up to heart center, sending our hips forward, and then exhaling back to half split. Moving through this a few more times with your breath, inhaling forward and exhaling backward, starting to warm up the muscles. Next time you come forward, sweep your front leg back to meet your back leg. Take your hands to the floor and maybe do a cat-cow here or shake your hips side to side. On your next inhale, send your left leg behind you, again extending through the big toe and through the crown of the head. Feel that reaching sensation and pull your navel to your spine. Placing our blocks on hands or keeping them on the mat. Bring our knee to our nose as we exhale. Step the left foot forward. Knee over ankle, toes facing forward. Back shin, top of foot, and all 10 toenails on the mat. On your next inhale, bring your hands up to heart center, sending your tailbone to the floor, engaging through the abdomen, and sending the crown of the head to the sky. Push your heart forward. Blocks again and scooting our front foot forward just a couple inches as we rock back onto that front heel, straightening the front leg toes to the sky for half split. Using the blocks to help us to elevate ourselves. Pull your navel to your spine and breathe here, keeping a micro bend in the front knee. Facing it, inhaling, rocking forward, low lunge. And as you exhale, rock back, half split, and inhale it forward, moving with your breath, rocking back and forth. Last time coming forward, sweep your front heel back to meet your back leg, coming back to tabletop pose. Some little movements and wiggles here. The blocks or not, whatever works for you. Extend your right leg behind you as you inhale. Bringing our knees to nose, stepping our right foot forward. Sitting on the back knee, creating a kickstand with our back shin and foot. Front knee and toes face forward. Just make sure that your back knee is positioned underneath your hip, the floor, top of the foot, and all 10 finger toes. Extend your front leg and place all 4 corners of your front foot on the mat. As you inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Mom's kiss if available, and exhale, bend into your front knee, sending your arms out to a T, gazing over your front hand. Warrior 2 on our knees, and as we inhale, we'll send our arms up to the sky, straightening our front leg. Pulling it back to our warrior 2 on our knees. Moving dynamically here, inhaling up, warming up the muscles, and exhale, bending it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Lock and place it on the inside of your front foot. Your right hand on the block, still keeping our front knee stacked over our front ankle, and this time taking your left arm and sweep it across your chest, reaching it up to the sky. Curving our palm down towards our chest, sweeping it past to touch the floor. Inhale, sweeping it up, moving dynamically here, getting warmed up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, sweep it up to the sky, this time hold. And then releasing it down. Taking both hands to frame the front foot. Pivoting on the back knee now. So now it's neutral, like you would be in low lunge. And sweep your front foot back. Your hips around. Maybe side to side or forward and back. Your next inhale, extending the left leg behind you. Extending through the crown of the head, pull the navel to the spine. Think long. And send your knee to your nose, stepping that foot forward. Pivoting on the back knee, creating a kickstand. So now our shin and our foot are parallel with the back of the mat. And making sure that our hip is over our knee, and then straighten your front leg. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bending your front knee, leaning forward, arms extending and reaching. Pull your navel to your spine, gaze over your front hand, lift your heart. Your next inhale, send your arms to the sky, and exhale, hinging down as we warm up our hips here. Moving with your breath. This time coming down and taking that block to the inside of your front foot. Placing your left hand on the block, down in front of the block. And as you inhale, sweep it across your chest, send your arm up to the sky, gazing down at the floor, feeling that extension across your chest, maybe taking your gaze up. Exhale, going down the way we came up, touching the block, and inhaling, reaching up. Keep moving with your breath here. Time when your arm comes down, plant both hands at the front on the blocks and pivot on your back foot, swing your back knee back. We're going to move the blocks to the side for a minute, placing our hands under our shoulders. Take a deep inhale in tabletop. And as you exhale, lean forward a little bit and start to bend your elbows, hugging them in, lowering onto your chest. And then pull your hands to your low ribs, lift your heart forward, press your pelvis into the floor and the tops of your feet for cobra. Exhale, release yourself down to your cheek, taking a breath. And then on your next inhale, lifting your chest again by pulling your heart forward, taking your gaze forward, and then releasing it down. Push yourself up back to tabletop position, and then take your knees nice and wide, sending your toes together, and begin to send your hips back towards your heels and walk your hands forward onto the mat as you melt your way down, resting your forehead down in extended child's pose. Stay here for 5 rounds of breath. Begin to walk your hands back up, coming to tabletop, and turn towards the long edge side of your mat. Tabletop here, inhale, send your right leg out to the side, toes face the long edge of the mat, so facing forward. Left knee under left hip. Planted in the floor. Walk them forward a little bit, so just in front of your shoulders, and begin to rock back and forth. Moving to whatever degree is comfortable. No need to force anything. Just doing what your body allows. Your right hand on the floor. Inhale, send your left arm out to the side. As you exhale, send your left arm through the hole, dropping your shoulder down onto the mat. And as you inhale, send your left arm out to the side again, maybe an inch higher this time. Exhale, send it through the hole. Inhale, sending it out to the side a little bit higher. Exhale, sending it through the hole. This time, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So keeping the shoulder pressed into the yoga mat and pressing into our hands, so we're not putting weight on our head or our neck. Our head is barely resting here, pressing our foot into the floor. Your weight into your right hand and slowly unwind, sending your arm out to the side. Release your hand down onto the mat. Then step your right foot into the middle, sending your hips forward and back again here, resetting the pelvis. Next inhale, send your left leg out to the side, plant your foot into the mat, toes face forward. Hands just in front of your shoulders and rock back and forth here. Next inhale, come forward and send your right arm out to the side. Exhale, send it through the hole, threading the needle. Unwinding, sending your arm out a little bit higher. Exhale, sending it through. Doing another round. Next time when you send your arm through, we're going to stay here. Again, keeping our weight in our shoulder and in our hand. Our head is barely resting on the floor, protecting our neck. Our heart face the side of the room. Keep breathing. Your next inhale, slowly sending the arm up the highest it's reached, and then taking your hand to the floor. Sweeping your leg back to tabletop. Walking back and forth here, taking whatever organic movements feel good for you. Pivoting to the long side of the short side of the mat again, facing the front. Tabletop pose. Your hands are shoulder width distance, really spread across the palms, tuck your toes, and we're going to start to send our hips up to the sky, lifting our knees off the mat, letting our chest come forward for our first downward dog. Keeping a micro bend in our elbows and a generous bend in our knees. Let our head hang down, shaking side to side. And pull your navel up into your spine. Option, start walking your dog here by sending your hips side to side, one heel to the floor at a time. See what this feels like. Walk your feet as wide as your mat. See what that feels like for you in the downward dog, if your body likes that. Continually to wag your dog's tail if you want to. And then walk your feet to center, big toes touch. Bending your knees again, straightening. Inhale, sweep your right leg up behind you for a three-legged dog, extending up into the sky. Keeping our chest to face our standing leg here. We're not turning anywhere. We're keeping our pelvis. Now let's stack our pelvis by bending our knees, sending our foot towards our glute for scorpion pose. Again, keeping our chest facing the standing leg. If you'd like to, draw a few circles with your knee to warm up your hip joint even more, and then reverse the circles the opposite direction. You're ready, bring your knee to your nose and step that foot to the outside of your right hand, coming to lizard pose here. Keep the back toes tucked and keep a micro bend in that knee. Bring the blocks to the inside of the front foot. Toes are facing forward, knee over ankle. Option to drop the back knee, the shin, and the top of the foot, so all 5 toenails are facing the mat. Begin to press your hands into the block and push your heart forward. Into both feet evenly, think about spreading across the collarbones, creating space in your chest. Think of your spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head, a nice smooth long line. Continue to stay here, or option dropping onto your forearms onto the blocks. Taking your elbows forward just a couple inches. And come back to your breath. Nice, long, smooth inhales and exhales. Next, inhale, place your hands back on the blocks, tuck your back toe and lift your back knee. And we're going to start to pivot on our feet so they face the long side of the mat, using our hands on our blocks for a wide-legged forward fold. Both toes facing the long edge of the mat, and walking all the way over to our left foot, letting our head hang down here. And now bend your left knee and send your hips back, bending and straightening, some dynamic movement here as we continue to warm up our hips, bringing the floor up to us with the blocks. Finishing this one up, and then let your head hang forward, grabbing your left foot or placing your hands on the blocks for a forward fold. Inhale, taking your hands back to the blocks, coming through center. Inhale, use your core and bring yourself up halfway, extending through the crown of the head. And then exhale, releasing, folding forward. And we will walk our hands now to the right leg. Bending and straightening our right leg by sending our hips back, making sure our toes and our knees are facing the same direction to keep them safe. Dynamic movements here, moving at your own pace. One more time, and then releasing, folding over the right leg, letting your neck hang here. Our hands on our blocks and pivoting on our feet. So now they're facing the front of the mat in a runner's lunge. Planting our hands on the mat, stepping our front leg back to downward facing dog. Walking our dog, noticing how each side feels now. Toes touch, and on your next inhale, sending the left leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. Feel your inner thigh on your left leg. Really pull that leg up as you extend through the toe. Bending that knee, sending our heel to our glute. Scorpion, stacking the hips. Keeping our chest neutral. Your exhale, bring your knee out to the side, stepping it forward to the outside of the left hand. Taking your hands into our blocks. Placing the blocks on the inside of our front foot. Front knees facing forward, front toes facing forward, knee over ankle. Dropping the back knee, optional, and the back shin and the top of the back foot, untucking the toes. About dropping your hips down a little bit and pull your heart forward, pressing into both feet. Spread across the collarbones. Pull your navel in and extending through the crown of the head. Keeping a micro bend in our elbows to protect the joint. Lizard pose. Option to drop to your forearms. And then scooting them forward just about an inch or two. Again, checking in, making sure our knees staying stacked over our ankle. Breathe, sending the oxygen to all our muscles, tissues, and bones, and joints, and everything in our body. Every cell gets a fresh breath. Next, inhale, take your hands to the blocks, tuck your back toes, And lift your back leg, coming up to a wide-legged forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. Toes and knees externally rotated facing the same direction. Take one of the blocks and place it behind you for a seat. I'm placing mine on the lowest setting, and begin to send your hips back, coming to a supported Skandasana side lunge. Right foot is planted into the floor. Our knee is over our ankle, and then we're extending our left leg, pressing our heel into the floor, keeping a micro bend in that leg. Take your hands to heart center and start to elevate your spine, crown of the head towards the sky, pushing into each hand. This is a very active pose, even though we're using the prop to sit on. We're pressing both feet into the ground and activating our core. Option sending your right arm to the block, and inhale, opening up your left arm to the sky. Take your hands back to prayer, or take your left arm and take your palm to the lower back. And then begin to walk your fingers over around, grabbing onto your right thigh for a bind. Just an option. Continue to pressing into our foot and into our heel, but keeping that micro bend here. Active stretch. Healing open that left shoulder. So we're opening across the chest, spreading across the collarbones. Another option here, grab your strap, taking it around with your left arm again. And then you're going to take your right arm, palm facing away from you, swing it around your leg and try to grab onto that strap. Walking your hands together to whatever degree is available for you, and then open your chest up. I'm going to flip the other way and show you what that looks like. My left arm behind me, wrapping around by my waist, and then palm facing away from me, grabbing onto that strap, walking my hands together and opening up through the chest here. Stay here with your breath and unwind whenever you need to. The bind, slowly start to unravel here and set the strap down to your side, and then very carefully we're going to come onto our hands and make our way back up to a wide-legged forward fold, stopping in the middle and letting our head hang down here. Inhale, engage your core, half lift, extending through the crown of the head, feeling your glutes reach back. Active here. Your block and place it in the middle and plant your left hand on there, and then keep your pelvis neutral here. I'm going to begin to inhale, extend my right arm out to the side and up, but keeping my pelvis neutral, not twisting at the pelvis at all. Exhale, release that hand down, take it to the other side. Again, keeping your pelvis neutral, opening up across the chest, doesn't matter how big it is, whatever works for your body, and release it down. Now we're going to take the Skandasana on the other side. Take your block behind you, toes, knees facing the same direction, and begin to sit back on that block, planting your feet. Even take your foot out a little more in front of you so your knee doesn't have quite a degree of flexion. Again, planting our heel, keeping a micro bend, pressing our feet into the floor, engaging our hands by pressing them into each other, and sitting up nice and tall, pulling our navel to our spine. Next time, you can place your hand on the floor or a block, opening up your chest to the side. You can gaze down at the floor or gaze up at your hand, whatever feels good for your neck. Here, you can take the arm to your back, wrapping it around, finding your left thigh, grabbing onto it. Opening up your chest to the side, expanding across your chest. Taking that strap in your right hand, sending it behind your back, and then taking your left arm And placing it in front of your thigh, palm facing away from you, wrap it around, find that strap and walk your hands onto it. But making sure you can open your chest here, stacking shoulder over shoulder. Keeping our feet actively pushing into the floor. Everything's working and stretching at the same time here. And as we exhale, we'll very slowly release. Again, making our way up to wide-legged forward fold, carefully moving here. And this time, maybe you want to grab onto your feet and pull yourself forward. Now that we are warmed up more, we're getting more flexibility. You could grab your big toe with your peace fingers. You can rock back and forth on your heels and your toes. Rock side to side. You walk your hands towards your left. Start to pivot on your feet, planting your hands at the front as we step back to downward facing dog. Walk your dog a little bit more here, and then when you're ready, drop to your knees slowly to tabletop. Stay for the inhale as you exhale, hinging forward slightly as you lower knees, chest, chin. Getting your hands to your lower rib cage, press into your hands, pull your heart forward, lifting maybe your hips off for upward facing dog, gazing forward. And then making your way to child's pose, sending your hips back towards your heels. Stay with your breath here as we surrender for a moment in time. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back towards your body, coming to tabletop pose. And then we're going to come to downward dog, again, tucking our toes, sending our hips up to the sky. And walk yourself to the top of your mat very slowly, taking baby steps, meeting in a forward fold. So have a generous bend in your knees here, grabbing opposite elbows. Let the head and spine hang down and decompress. I'm going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, take your hands to your shins. Take your crown of your head to the front of the room and extend, pulling your navel to spine. Pull your shoulder blades again together, broadening across the chest. And then exhale, releasing everything down. Rocking side to side, swaying side to side. Your next inhale, coming to center and half lift again. Exhale it out. And then inhale the other half of the way up, reaching palms to the sky. And exhale, bring them down through heart center. One cycle of breath here. Exhale, release your hands down to the sides, coming to mountain pose. Rock back and forth on your feet here, starting to get in touch with your mat and the earth beneath it. Feeling all corners of your feet rooting into the ground. Keep a micro bend in your knees and send your tailbone to the floor. Lifting your heart and letting your shoulders fall away. Palms face forward. Lifting your heart and begin to extend through the crown of the head. Feeling that connection with the earth as we breathe. And as we exhale, we'll just release the pose, turning. I'm going to turn again to the long side of the mat. Stepping back with your left foot about 2 feet or so, 45-degree angle with the back foot. Inhale, bring your hands up to your heart. Coming to pyramid as you hinge from your hips, leading with your heart halfway. Extending through the crown of the head, pulling your right hip back and your left hip forward. Finding your blocks here. And maybe folding forward a little bit more, dropping the crown of the head towards the floor for pyramid pose. Planting your hands on the floor, micro bend in the front knee. Begin to lift your back leg off the mat up to the sky for a standing L or a standing split. And then exhale, drop it down, moving dynamically, inhaling, lifting up, exhale, setting that back leg down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and hold it, really extending through the big toe ball mound. Feeling. And drop it down, releasing your head for pyramid pose. Your next inhale, bring your hands to heart up, hinging up halfway, then all the way up to center, and then stepping the back foot forward. To the other side, stepping back with the right foot about 2 feet, back foot at a 45-degree angle, front toes facing forward. Take your hands to heart center and lift through your chest, pulling your left hip back and your right hip forward. And as you exhale, hinging at the hips, lead with your heart. Keep leading, keep reaching through your spine, halfway. Stay here or drop your hands down to your blocks as you start to fold over the front leg, letting the crown of your head start to come towards the floor, keeping a micro bend in that front knee. Staying present. Keep breathing. Put your hands to the floor, micro bend into that front knee, and begin to lift your back leg up, standing split, standing L. Keep extending through that leg. And as you keep extending, keep pressing your standing foot, micro bend, drop the back leg down. Again, inhale, sending it up. Exhale, dropping it down. Keep moving through this dynamic standing splits. Last time, sending your back leg down, one final pyramid here, letting your head hang. And then as you inhale, bring your hands up to your heart, coming up halfway. And then the other half of the way, standing up nice and tall. Your back foot forward. Inhale, send your arms in front of you and up towards the sky. Palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold, planting your hands, stepping back to downward dog, and then dropping to your knees, crossing our legs, and making our way onto our bottom here. Extend your right leg out to the side and take your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, resting your right arm on your leg. Take your left arm. Take your left arm, begin to send it up towards the sky. Just barely reaching over here, keeping our chest open to the front for a nice side body stretch here. As we exhale, take our left hand, place it behind us, fingers facing away from us, press into our heel, into our shin, swing our front arm in front of us, and send our hips up for a wild thing variation. You don't have to tip your head back. You can keep your chin tucked and then releasing down, coming to side body stretch, dynamically moving here. Move with your own breath as you exhale and then inhale, wild thing. Exhale, release it down, and inhale, side stretch. Exhale, unwinding, and inhale, wild thing. Exhale, winding down, then taking both feet to center into butterflies. So the soles of the feet touching, and sit up nice and tall here. Option here, you can take your hands and rest them on the top of your knees, touching your pointer finger and your thumb for Gyan Mudra. Here for a moment of stillness. And then releasing, extend your left leg long, taking your right foot to the inside of that thigh, taking your left arm, resting it on your left leg, and inhale, send your right arm up and slightly hinge over, keeping our chest open, shoulders stacked on top of one another. As you exhale, sending your right arm behind you, fingers facing away from you, press into your foot, into your heel, send your hips up, extend through your arm, keeping our chin tucked here slightly to protect the neck. And then exhale, release it down. Inhale, side body stretch. Exhale, hand to the mat. Inhale, sweep up and over, wild thing. Exhale, release it down. One more time, moving with your own breath. Taking that left foot in, butterfly, bound, ankle pose. Taking Gyan Mudra if you would like, or any mudra of your choosing. Calming the mind, starting to slow things down for a moment. Release it. Take your knees, plant your feet on the ground, take your knees together. And we're going to come into boat pose here. So rocking back and forth here, finding that spot on your lower bottom that you can balance. And then think about lifting your chest here. Lifting nice long spine. Lifting your legs up to any degree. And then option, send your arms out to the side, palms facing up. Keep looking up, keep lifting your heart, spreading across the collarbones, and then release it down, feet on the floor. Let your heads come to your knees. Taking that same variation of boat pose or option, grab onto your big toe with your peace fingers, your middle finger and your pointer finger, and then send your feet in front of you and then begin to send your legs out to the side. So we're in a balancing V here. Keep pressing your heart forward, gauge your core. If you need to release it, you can. It's your practice. Have fun with it. Then releasing, we'll find our way onto our back. Rolling onto our back now, hugging our knees into our chest. Then taking our legs a little bit wider than our torso, grabbing onto the backs of our thighs for happy baby. Pressing our pelvis into, or our sacrum into the floor, that triangle bone above our tailbone. Letting our shoulders relax down. Grabbing onto our thighs. If we're okay there, maybe walking our hands up to our ankles. If that still feels good, you can try rocking side to side here. If you want to try even deeper, grab onto your big toe, but make sure you just let your shoulders rest down and your tailbone touches the floor, the sacrum. You can bend and straighten one leg at a time. Do what feels good for you in this happy baby pose. And then release it, hugging your knees into your chest. Then moving onto our backs, extending our legs long, letting our arms rest down by our sides. We're going to move into our pranayama practice, our breathing exercise. So extend your legs long, let your toes fall away from each other to the sides of the mat. You can walk your shoulder blades together under the heart space and let your palms face up, gentle tuck in the chin. Getting in touch with our breaths here, our inhales and our exhales. Next inhale, I want you to imagine the air going down your spine to your tailbone, down your legs to your feet, as if they were going to go into your earth, touching the root chakra. As you exhale, I want you to imagine the air coming back up your spine, going to your crown chakra, out through the top of your head. As you inhale fresh air, coming now down just 2 inches below your navel to the sacral chakra. And as you exhale, it coming back up your spine, up to your third eye, and releasing. Inhaling, coming to just a few inches above the navel to your solar plexus chakra. And then as you exhale, it coming up your throat to the throat chakra, releasing. As you inhale the air into your heart space, the bridge between the physical lower chakras and the upper spiritual chakras, letting everything be in balance and in harmony here for the collective oneness. Staying here with your breath as we settle into Shavasana, or option you can come up to a seated Shavasana in Sukhasana, happy seat, palms facing up, or one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach. As we begin to incorporate everything we just did, I will bring you out of the meditation when it is time. Begin to slowly awaken to your breath as you start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Taking micro movements here in your fingers and your toes, wiggling them, and then rolling your wrists and your ankles, starting to wake up the body nice and slowly and softly. Option here, if you're on your back, reach your arms up over your head for a full body stretch, lifting your lower back off the mat. Or if you're in a seat, reaching your arms up over your head and then bringing your knees into your chest, rolling over to fetal position, using your arm as a pillow. When you're ready, push yourself up, coming to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed if you would like. Seeing our palms face up on our knees. On your next inhale, send your arms up to the sky, palms kiss at the top, and then exhale very slowly. Pull your arms down through center, having your thumbs brush the third eye, and your nose and your lips, down your chin, your throat, into your heart. It was an honor to practice with you today. Be well and namaste. Thank you guys. See you next time.